Hi everyone, welcome to What the Física. Today it's a little special episode because we are talking to someone who came to visit us to the ICN2, Julius Wesche. Did I say it properly?
Almost.
Almost, okay. He's visiting us because we at the ICN2 are thinking about the next years and how we're going to communicate our research. The beautiful things that are going on within the ICN2. He's a really talented communicator. He has a broad experience working with universities, working with researchers, and he's helping us finding out how we can do better communication. Julius, isn't it a great time to do science communication?
It is the greatest time and it's the most important time to actually think about science communication, because obviously we know that there's been discoveries, research discoveries for the last centuries, but we have so many challenges ahead that we as a generation need to tackle and need to get beyond. And I think that researchers do a real good deal on understanding these systems around us, understanding these challenges around us, and then finding ways of how we can tackle them and how we can solve them.
We are fortunate because we have the chance to talk very often to brilliant researchers about what they are doing. We have all the fun, and we need to find ways to bring that fun out of the institutions, out of the research labs. And there is a lot, maybe too many channels to do that nowadays. How can we be effective in communicating that brilliant science happening?
To your point, obviously there's a lot of opportunity how you can communicate your science. There is press releases, there is videos, there is all the social networks like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of that is available. But you always have to figure out what is the target group that you want to reach, and then you figure out where is that target group consuming content, and then you should produce content right there for that target group, because only then you can catch them. And don't make it about like, yes, we won a new research project and it's about this and this, but try to connect with their reality, and then when you connect to their reality, create something that maybe helps them overcome their own challenges, or if it's just that it gives them hope that we will overcome, for example, this climate crisis that we're facing right now.
Yeah, and do you agree that we should empower researchers to be able to do that a little on their own? Of course, there are departments like the one I lead here at the ICN2 that help researchers to be seen, to spread the word about their work. But should they have some skills, some capabilities to do their own communication?
Yes, no, for sure. I think there is two ways of how you can communicate science. And obviously you need the institutional communication. This is what you do with your team. But I think people are interested in other people. And if you get research to talk about their own research, then that offers way more opportunity to connect with the researchers. Because when we think back to our schools, we always like the topics that were taught by the people that we like. That we always like the topics that whom's teachers we kind of like. And that's the same thing in science communication as well. If you have someone who really is into that, really passionate about this particular topic, then you might also be passionate or start being passionate about it, even though you might actually from the get-go not being really interested in that. But we have to be aware that not everyone needs and not everyone can do science communication, and that's okay. So it's not like going out and saying everyone has to do it right now. No, but at least empower, you use this word empower the ones that actually are thinking about it, because if we don't do that as institutions, then there's so much potential that is lost.
You mentioned a really important word, I think, passion. We are passionate about communicating
science.
I like
that you are passionate as well.
Passion, yeah, we are passionate people. but really, science sometimes seems to be perceived as something difficult, something boring, and it's really difficult to be a researcher. It's a hard way to walk in life. But passion is the motor to make it possible. No? They are passionate about the things they are discovering, about bringing new knowledge to the table, and we need to make that seen, because passion is something that connects us all.
Hey, science is beautiful. Because it allows you to understand what happens around us. And yes, it can be tedious when you develop algorithms, or if you analyze data and it doesn't fit all together, and it's a tedious long-term project. But if you then in the end have found something that is meaningful, that allows the people around you and around us to actually understand the systems that we are all embedded in better, then this is amazing, this is beautiful, and this, because it also gives the other people around us the opportunity to nurture their interests, but also make this world, and I know it sounds super cheesy, but make this world a better place. And if we don't support researchers, then we're doing something wrong. But I also think that people who want to go into research should realize that it's always more becoming about impact. You can't just sit in your booth anymore and just do some ticky-tacky on your numbers. Yes, you can, but the profile of researchers in the future, I think, will be more diverse, will be more versatile. You have to be able to also do outreach, communication, all that stuff, because in the end, we are paid by taxpayers, we as researchers, and I think we also have this obligation not just to work on our topics, but also bring it out. And that's why I love the work that you do at ICN2 so much, because this is not normal to have it at a research institute.
And maybe, thank you for your kind words, maybe being a scientific communicator, being a researcher doing communication is not for everyone, that's true. But we need to identify that people within the groups that are really into it, that have things to tell on behalf of the whole group and the whole institution. No? And that's what we do here at What the Física, for instance, trying to bring young people that it's not usually in the media and put them under the spotlight and let them shine and tell their story. And that's really...
No, that's why I like that you do all these projects, because this is not normal, but like that you give people the opportunity to find you and also find role models, so that's beautiful.
So I think that's it. Researchers of the future, young researchers, senior researchers, please be passionate and share your passion with the world. There is plenty of opportunities. Reach out to your communication department and find out how they can help you, or do it on your own. Go outside and show everybody how beautiful science is, please. And don't forget to check Julius' podcasts, Julius' social networks, because he's doing a huge work inviting you to the communication, showing you how to do that successfully. And he's an inspiring person. So thank you, Julius.
Thanks for your kind words. Take care.